Alright, welcome everyone to the second episode of Geometry Dash editor tutorials in 2.2. Of course, the editor is super duper complex, and today we are gonna be checking out a new trigger that has been added to 2.2, and it's called the sequence trigger. I asked you guys which trigger you want me to do next, and you guys said the sequence, so here we are. So the sequence trigger is very useful for platformer mode. I can't see it being too useful for normal or like the classic mode, but yeah, let's just switch to platformer and test what this one does. So first of all, let's just click on edit object and explain everything in here and what everything does. So this trigger, what it basically does is it does a bunch of actions in a row, and you can say how many times each action should take place. So for example, let's make a small test. Let's say this is a cube. This is group 1, and then we use I'm assuming you know how to use the move trigger just a little bit. And yeah, this tutorial as always is going to be everything in depth, steps for step. So you add, let's say we add a move trigger that moves it up by 10, and then we do ease in and out. And if you start, it should just move up like that. And now let's make one that moves it to the right, and then one that moves it downwards, and then one that moves it to the left. So this one goes to the right, this one goes up, this one's going down, and then this one goes left. So it goes boom, 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 boom. Okay, so what we want to do now is assign these to a group ID, for example, group 2, and also make sure to make it spawn multi-trigger. And now you do this one, the second one has to be 3, and spawn multi-trigger, and then we have this one as 4, then of course spawn multi-trigger, this one as 5, spawn multi-trigger. So this one is 2, so we want to move it up, left, down, left, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left. Look at this. So now what we want to do is check in this one. The first one is 2, so we want to move it 2. You click on this one, boom, and then next up we want to move it to the right, and then to the left, and then lastly it's gonna end up where it is. So let's now add a spawn trigger that is gonna spawn the sequence, or you can just spam the sequence, but I like to have it on spawn and multi-trigger. Yes, and let's set it to group 6. This one is gonna spawn group 6. If you touch it, look at this. So now you touch it, it goes up, because the first thing that does is group 2 and do it once. So now if you click it again, nothing happens because this is not set to multi-trigger. So now up, and then next one right, and then down, and then left. And now if you touch it, nothing happens. Now here is where these settings in here come in very helpful. So firstly, let's actually talk about the count. So for example, let's say also you can like select these and subtract, like remove them. So now let's say we want to move it upwards, let's say 5 times like that, or you can just do 5 times, and then we want to move it to the right, let's say 3 times, and to the downwards we want to move it 2 times, and then to the left let's do 1 time. And now look at this. By the way, just a quick hint, you can mute the song by adding a song trigger, and you do stop, boom. Now there's no song. Look at this. So boom, boom, it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it goes to the right 1, 2, 3, and then downwards 1, 2, and then to the left, and that's it. So what you can do with this is make it stop mode. So this is by default a mode stop. So it basically, once all of these are triggered, so once it reaches this one, it basically just stops and nothing happens. So if you trigger it, basically nothing is gonna happen. And mood loop is pretty much, you know what it is. For this one, I'm probably gonna make every single one of them only be triggered once, so you guys can see better. So 2 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, and 5 ones. Look at this. So now up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left. So now once it's done with this one, it basically goes back and triggers this one and goes on and goes on and goes on, basically like a loop. And mode last, this one, mode last, is basically it triggers this once, and then this once, and then this once, and then it keeps triggering this one over and over and over again. Look at this. So up, right, down, left, 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 left. So it basically triggers the very last one all of the time. And this is where I think so far everything is pretty simple. This trigger overall, I don't think it's that complex. So let's just use mode loop, and now we're gonna move on to these two settings, and this one is basically where these two sliders come in handy. So we have the resets. This is basically, let's say if this one was triggered, if the trigger was triggered and then the sequence trigger triggers this one and then it triggers that one. However, the time delay between these guys should be this one. So let's say the time delay should be 0.1. Actually, let's do 1 second. So basically what this means is that if you click it and then you wait more than 1 second, it's gonna go back. So it's gonna start from the beginning. And for example, if you like trigger it once, twice, and then 3 times, and then you wait more than 1 second, then it's gonna go back to the very beginning. Look at this. So if I do boom, it goes up. Let's say I wait, and now it's gonna reset. However, if I do it quickly, up, left, down, like that, boom, 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 boom. However, if you wait, it's gonna basically reset it from the beginning. This is basically the time that you can set. If it's on 0, there is no time delay. You can click it whenever you want. It's always gonna trigger these guys. And this is where the reset step comes in, which wait, what? You can't click it. What the heck? What is this, bro? Okay, this one is a little bit more complex. So basically, oh yeah, now it works. So you have to basically click on it and then exit and then reset again. Okay, so what this one does is similar to this one. You know how if you miss one in this time, it basically goes back to the very beginning. But this one, what it does is it goes back 1 step if you miss the time. So let's say you go boom, boom, and then you miss the time, and then it's gonna go back. Look at this. So let's hit it like that. Boom, 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 boom. Very simple. And then let's say I wait more than 1 second. So now it's still gonna go up, and now it's still gonna go up. Now if I do it quickly, it's gonna go to the right. Now if I wait more, it's gonna go up, because it like I waited too much and then it went 1 step backwards. And then we wait more. So if you want to make it like that, we can wait and then trigger it. And then trigger it, trigger. And then if you want to, for example, only move it to the right, what you got to do is just click twice. Wait, I got to reset it again like that, and then wait, and then wait, and then wait. And now if you want to move it downwards, click more, and then like that, and then like that. You guys get the idea. This can be very useful for maybe animations or boss fights. This can be used for a lot of things, actually. This was like a very small example that can never be used in a level. But this is basically everything that there is. And this one is basically how much you want to wait between each single step. And with these guys, you can like select it and then move it around. So this time it goes left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down. So this can be used, for example, let me show you. I can show you where I used it in my own level, which by the way is now out. You can check it out for yourself. So I think I used it somewhere in here. Look at this. I'm gonna show you. So if I place this down in here, we have a checkpoint. Look at this. So there's this button, and if I trigger it, this thing goes down. And now you can take a look at this. There are 3 buttons here. There's this, and also that. And this one, they all trigger the same group ID, which is this sequence. So basically, if the sequence was triggered once, then this one happens. All of this happens, which basically moves the first box down. Look at this. Now it's moving it downwards. And now if I trigger it again, which I can only do if I am a robot. Let's say I trigger it once, and then it goes down. And then the next time I trigger it, it's gonna trigger this one, because all of these guys are set to a certain group 44, and this one is set to 431, and the sequence has 431 as the second step. So the second time the sequence has been triggered, this one gets triggered, which triggers these ones in a spawn order, which I'm gonna have probably to make a video on, but you get the idea. So basically the next time I click it, something else happens, even though it's the exact same group ID. And look at this. If I click it one more time, that one happens. Yeah, for example, this is something that I used for the sequence trigger. And another thing that you can use it for is gonna be the footsteps. So let's listen to this. We have this sound, which I think I have talked about. Then we have this sound and this one. So basically just random sound effects, and you can play them in a sequence. For example, if you want to like land on something, you do by the way, I'm going to do a tutorial on the SFX trigger. You can, for example, trigger this one first, and then trigger that one first, and then trigger that one first. And then every time you land, you trigger this sequence trigger. So it basically goes on every single one of them. Or you can do them with random trigger. I did it with the random because I think it's more fun. But yeah, Sequence trigger can be a little bit complex, but once you understand what it does, it can be really useful. And it's really not that hard if you really get your mind over it. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something new. I really hope you guys understood this well, because it was quite a hard trigger to explain. So in case you guys didn't understand something, just slap that in the comment section. And yeah, more tutorials coming soon. Make sure to check out my new level, by the way. It's a very cool level. Use the ID if you want to. And yeah, let me know which trigger you want me to do next. I'm probably gonna do SFX. I'm gonna do everything, by the way, don't worry. But I just want to know which one I should do next. So this is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.